All right, shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone while I learn this truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, the prophets, the servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, and your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you brothers and sisters can see, is going to be another video from the brother Arrows of Indignation 144. And it's basically going to be just going into, the news that's coming for the economy of America, how this place is about to go through turmoil, man, how, a bunch of chaos is about to come upon this place soon to come, due to these tariffs and things of that nature that Trump is putting on these other nations that's ultimately affecting this place. You're going to have a lot of, turmoil soon taking place in this country, Babylon. So, I'm going to get into this video that the brother got on his channel, and I'm going to kind of build off it, Lord's will. It can be edifying. So, with that being said, I'm going to get into the video. But before I started, I want to say fair use on the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. So with that being said, fair use.
Came out a few hours ago and said that Americans are going to suffer financially for at least 2 years while his tariff strategy takes place. Okay, which means millions of people are about to lose their jobs. They're about to lose their homes. They're going to lose everything they have. Kids are going to be food insecure.
All right. And we basically just got a little gist of what it is he said. And I'm going to get a few precepts because we know that the Lord said that these things will happen in the latter days, And I'm going to go to that precept real quick. Bear with me. I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50, because this is ultimately why the Lord is bringing upon all of these bad things that we see occurring in this earth, man. These miseries is ultimately due to the pride of these Americans. Most of the people here in America, especially the 2/3 of the nation of Israel and these other heathen nations, these people are very prideful, man. They over here living comfortably. These people never had to know what it feel like to suffer and things of that nature. Everything just been going in these people's favors. But, we're seeing the beginning of, ultimately Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai bringing uncomfortable times to this place, man, And this is 2nd Esdras 8 and 50, and it says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So that's ultimately why we see all of these miseries, or, when you go into that word miseries, it goes into times of uncertainty, uncomfortability, people being anxious and things of that nature. So people are about to be in a spirit of distress, ultimately due to them walking in pride, man, and arrogancy, and, thinking that they're better than people, this high-minded, proud attitude that all of these Babylonians have. But soon to come, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is bringing all that to a low, man. People are going to begin to mourn soon to come. They're going to be in a state of, distress, man, and chaos due to all of these afflictions that's going to be coming upon these people due to their pride and wickedness, right? So, I'm going to get back into the video.
We are looking at an economic tsunami, okay? There's only one of two scenarios in which we can turn this around. One is Trump is lying about the tariffs. If he's lying and he backs down the tariffs, that could help. Okay, he lies every day, so that wouldn't be surprising. But if he's not lying and he keeps these tariffs in place, the only thing we can do is march in the streets and fight back. Call your local representatives. Do whatever you can.
Right. And that's what ultimately people are going to do soon to come, man. They're going to take matters into their own hands, because ultimately they're going to realize that, oh, man, that everything that which they thought was working for them is not working, man. So people are going to feel like they have no choice but to take matters into their own hands. And that's when you're going to have a lot of uproars of the people. You got a lot of these protests and things of that nature ultimately going on now in the earth, especially in this place, America. But that ultimately goes into people putting their trust into this place, man. And we know what the Lord says about people that put their trust in man, speaking about you 2/3 of the nation of Israel and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? And this is what the Lord said about those that put their trust in man. Jeremiah 17 and 5 in the NLT says, "This is what the Lord says, cursed are those who put their trust in mere humans." And that's what you see and come upon all of you Babylonians, man. You people are starting to feel cursed now. You people are starting to feel the effects of putting your trust in this system, putting your trust in Esau, Edom, putting your trust in the so-called white man and in his system. And now you're starting to see the benefits of it. Everything is beginning to collapse and to crumble around you, man. Right? And it says, who rely on human strength, right? You people rely on this man to do everything for you. You rely on him to feed you. You rely on this man work thing to keep you employed, to keep you, just afloat in this society. You depend upon him for everything, right? And ultimately, that's how he set it up. But you people are not putting your trust in the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is what you're supposed to be putting your trust in first and foremost, more than anything else, right? And it says, who rely on human strength and turn their hearts, right? Meaning their minds away from the Lord. And that's what you people here in America have done due to you being at ease, right? In the society, especially you Jakes, man, you Eves, y'all have turned y'all mind away from the Lord to focusing on just the things of this life, focusing on things in America, focusing on building up a rich lifestyle and things of that nature in this country. That's more so what you people's minds been geared towards accomplishing. And due to that, you have turned your minds away from the Lord, man. And that's why the Lord is allowing all of these plagues to come upon this place, because these are all part of the plagues, man. And I'm going to look at that word plagues, right, just so we can get a better understanding of the word. But that's what you see occurring in this place, America, plagues, man. You know. And that word plagues goes to, similar words to the meaning of the word plague, goes into trouble, right? And afflict, right? Or afflictions. And that's what's coming upon you, Babylonian Americans, man. Afflictions from all surroundings, man. Right. And I'm going to look at that word afflictions just so we can get a better understanding, right? And that word afflictions goes into something that causes pain or suffering, right? And we just read that in 2nd Esdras 8:50. That's why a lot of these miseries are going to come upon you people due to your pride. So that's why you people are now starting to realize what it feels to suffer, man. Because ultimately, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is the one that's bringing this suffering upon you, Babylonians, man. And I'm going to go to Amos 3:6 to back that up, in the KJV, and it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? And guess what? This trumpet represents this word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua going out to the highways and hedges, and the brothers putting up the videos day in and day out, warning you people to turn back to your power, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, warning you of all of these bad things that are to come to America. The elders and the apostles of Great Millstone and the bishop elders and the men on down have been warning you people for decades of all of these events that are going to take place in this place, America, that they were going to have a downtrodden of this society, man, that things was going to go downhill, that this place wasn't going to be the strongest nation forever, like a lot of you people like to believe. No, this place is going to have an expiration date, and we're living in the stages of this place going down, right? And it says, shall there be evil, right? Meaning bad times. And it's a lot of bad times that are occurring in this place, America. Like he said in the video, you got a lot of businesses closing down, a lot of jobs being shut down, a lot of people going through poverty right now due to, things in this society collapsing due to those tariffs, right? So, I mean, it's just a lot of chaos that's happening in this place, America. This place is constantly going down and down and down. It's like the Titanic, man. This ship is sinking, right? And all of you people that put your trust in this ship, you're going to sink right along with it, right? And it says, and the Lord have not done it, right? So we know ultimately that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is the one that's ultimately controlling all of these events that are occurring in the earth. The Lord is controlling everything. The bad times that is plaguing this place, America, Babylon, the Lord is the one that did that. And I'm going to go to a precept just touching why the Lord is doing these things, right? And it's because of the wickedness, man. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues, right? We went into those plagues, the jobs closing down, the businesses shutting down, job facilities, laying people off, and all of these different types of things due to the tariffs and inflation. And all of these are part of those plagues, man, those signs that are occurring in this place right now as we see happening. And they're only going to continue to get worse as time goes on, right? And it says, upon the world, right, the sword, right, you're going to have destruction and chaos coming soon due to all of these plagues that are plaguing this place, America. Like the guy in the video says, soon to come, people are going to take matters into their own hands, and they're going to hit the streets feeling like they got to do stuff themselves because they're seeing that nothing else is working for them, man, right? And it says famine, right, because soon to come, you're going to have a lot of food shortages, man. They're already talking about it happening now with these CEOs of these big businesses, Walmart and Target and all of these other different places. They're already telling people that, due to these tariffs and these sanctions, that you're going to have a lot of empty shelves soon to come. So, I mean, all of this stuff is going to happen, man, right? And going back to what I read in Amos 3:6, the Lord is the one that's in control of it. He's the one that's bringing these evils. right? These bad times upon you people, man, right? And it says death and destruction, right? And this is the reason why. Verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord. So that's ultimately why the Lord is allowing all of these bad plagues and things of that nature to ultimately smite this place, Egypt, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, this place, America, is because of the wickedness, man, the evilness, the perverseness, the pride, the arrogancy, the homosexuality, all of the wickedness that's happening in this country, man. You know, men wanting to be like women and women wanting to be like men. All of this confusion. That's why the Lord calls this place the land of confusion, because it's a lot of wickedness that's occurring in this place. And due to all of that, that's the reason why the Lord is bringing these harsh judgments or these plagues upon this place. And we know, as it tells you in Matthew 24:8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So it's only going to continue to get worse and worse from here on out. It's not going to get better, you know. No, America is not going to be great again, like this man Donald Trump is trying to sell to all of you people out there that's believing this garbage. No, it's not going to become great, man. This place is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse until ultimately this place goes down the drain, right? But I'm gonna get this precept right here. This is Second Ezra chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 11. It said, but I will bring them with the mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, right? That's letting you know that this is not talking about ancient Egypt. It said as before. So this is talking about a new Egypt, right? Which is this place, America, Babylon. And it said, and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's what the Lord is doing. Slowly but surely, with these plagues that he's bringing upon this place, he's destroying the land thereof. And ultimately, we know the main destruction is going to be when this place is destroyed by those ICBM missiles, right? And the laser beams of the chariots. But before then, this place is constantly going to be getting plagued with all type of other events. And I went into them early in verse 5. You know, death, famines, all of these different things, job closings. We're seeing all of the plagues now occur, but they're only going to continue to get worse, right? And this is verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua shall bring upon it. So going back into what I read earlier again about how the Lord is ultimately the one that's bringing upon all of these evils upon this place, America, man, due to you people's pride and your arrogancy, doing it to your wickedness, man, you Jakes and you Eves not wanting to repent and turn back to your power. So you people are going to suffer tremendously in these latter days, man, you know. So I'm going to get back into this video just so we can finish hearing what the guy's saying.
Show up at town halls, okay, and complain before he takes every single thing you have. Don't think he'll lose a minute of sleep over it. He's a sociopath. He doesn't feel your pain. He doesn't care about you. Believe me. Even if you're MAGA, he doesn't care about you. I know you think he does, but he doesn't. They told you to work hard. They never told you the empire was collapsing around you.
Right. And we know ultimately these people, like he said, the guy doesn't care about anybody, man. You know, hey, but I mean, these people are the wicked, man. You can't expect your enemy to feel some type of way for you. You know, that's why the Lord tells us in Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, to never trust thine enemy, man, because you don't supposed to trust the devil, man. This man was set up to be a whooping stick amongst the tribes, man, and amongst the people. It says, let me get that precept, you know, bear with me. I think it's in the Apocrypha. Bear with me. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5. And it said, he that is evil to himself, because this man is evil to his own self, man. He's evil to his own people. He's spraying chemtrails in the sky that is ultimately affecting him and his people too. So, I mean, this man is the devil, man. So, of course, you can't trust him to, you know, think he's going to keep the economy afloat and that he's going to give you people the wishes and things in which it is that you demand of. No, that's not coming. Like I said earlier, it's only going to come miseries and plagues upon this place, man. That's the only thing coming to America, man, is destruction, chaos, you know, fear, panic, you know, distress, mourning. That's what's coming to this place, man. Whoa, right? And it says, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods, man. Right? And this man is the devil. And this is verse 6. It said, there is none worse than he that envieth himself. And this is a recompense of all his wickedness, right? So, yeah, man, this man is evil to himself, man. So to whom will he be good, you know? Definitely not to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, that's putting your trust in this place, America, Babylon the Great, thinking that this place is going to, you know, come back and all of these different types of things, man. Nah, bro, that's not coming back. what's coming is, like I said before, is bad times, evils, right? And we're seeing the beginning stages of those evils, and you're going to have more inflation. You're going to have more jobs closing down, more people getting laid off, more distress, more people, complaining about things being unjust in this society. Because it tells you in Revelation 6:4 that the Lord have given this man power to take peace from off the earth. And that's what we're seeing him do through all his tariffs and all of these different things in which it is that he's establishing upon his unrighteous decrees. Because we know ultimately that, guess what? This man knows he has but a short time. And eventually this is all him being set to, ultimately come down with his great wrath, But yeah, I'm going to get back into this video, just so we can finish watching just a little bit of it.
Jobs vanished since 2000 to the preservation of profit over people. The factories that built the middle class now stand as abandoned monuments. Steel rusts in Pennsylvania, auto plants empty in Michigan, textile mills silent in the Carolinas.
Right. And I'm going to go get a precept real quick because we hear what they saying that basically the grinding is ceasing, man, and I'm going to get that precept in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, right? And I'm going to start at verse 3, right, in the KJV. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves and the grinders cease, right, because they are few, and that grinders goes into these jobs, man. You got a lot of these jobs and workers, people being laid off, like I said, because you won't have a lot of ports and things of that nature coming into this country. So those tariffs are affecting a lot of these different jobs in different places, man, to where a lot of people are getting laid off and people can't work how they used to work and things of that nature. And that's ultimately why you're going to have, like I said, soon to come, a lot of people beginning to get violent, and take matters into their own hands because they're going to feel like that this system that they put all their hope and trust into has failed them, man. Right. That's why the Lord says in Isaiah 31, I believe, woe unto them that trust in Egypt, man. A lot of you people have put your trust in this place, America, man, and it's starting to fall right before your eyes, man. Right. And it says, because they are few and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right. And I'm going to read this. Verse 4, it said, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, right, the working. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? And it says, verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because the man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets, right? And it says, or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Right. So ultimately, like it says, just a lot of people are going to suffer, man, in these latter days due to them putting their trust in this place, Babylon the Great, man. They're soon about to see that all of this stuff that they believed in or thought was true is a lie, and they're seeing it. Some people are beginning to see it. But for those that still think this place is going to make a comeback and all of this different type of stuff that you may believe in your mind, you're about to see soon when these tariffs really begin to take effect, like severely, because they haven't, reached their full peak yet. It's still somewhat what you would consider normal in this society, but it's going to get worse and worse, man. This is only the beginning of the bad times that are going to come upon this place, right? So, I'm going to finish letting this video play. It's probably about another minute, just going into the jobs and things of that nature.
This was not an accident. This was design. Yet no politician dared tell you the empire was fading. No economist warned that your children would live poorer than you. No teacher prepared you for the hollowing out of everything you built. Instead, they weaponized your pain, turned worker against worker, native against immigrant, red against blue. The oldest strategy of dying empires: divide those who, united, might demand answers. The wealth concentration.
Right. And that's how we know ultimately this place, America, is coming to an end. Because like the guy said, you're starting to begin to see, and it's a kingdom that's divided, man. This place, Babylon the Great, is divided against itself, man. That's why you Like the guy said, if you want to keep people, when you know your empire is dividing, you want to have the people going against one another. Red against blue, all of this madness and things that they're doing on the political level. They're doing these things because, like I said again, the Lord is the one creating all of this tension that is occurring in this place, America, because ultimately we're coming to the downfall of this place, man, of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom being in power, man. So that's why these things are really taking place in the earth. And I'm going to go to the book of Mark, just touching on that precept of a kingdom divided, because we're starting to see that this place, America, is divided, man. And that's ultimately why it's going to be a great collapse that's going to come to this place soon, man. And we're already in the beginning of the collapse. This place really have already collapsed. It's just, like I said, due to that fiat currency they have, that dollar, you have certain nations that still, subscribe to the US dollar. But then again, you got a lot of countries around the world, they're dropping the dollar. So as time is going on, this dollar is constantly weakening right along with the tariffs that he's putting on this place. So, I mean, this place, America, is just, through, man. But this is Mark chapter 3, verse 23, KJV, and it says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Right? You having Edomites being divided against Edomites, calling each other out for both being devils, right? When all of these Edomites are devils, but, they're rising up against one another, right? And this is verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, right? Verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And that's what we're seeing occur in this place, America, Babylon the Great. We're seeing Satan divided against himself. So that's ultimately what's going to lead to the downfall of this place, right? And we're in it, right? We're living it out in real times. We're seeing the downfall of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, and of his revised Roman Empire that he have set up, man, And the men of the Lord, we're happy right now in these times because we're seeing the downfall of our enemies, man. And we know what it tells you about the man that lived to see the downfall of his enemies. And I'm going to go to that precept in the book of Sirach, Bear with me, the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. Right? And it said, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart, meaning my mind, right? To be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So that's what we're seeing. That's why we're rejoicing right now, as it tells you in Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Right? We're rejoicing because we can see that we're coming to the downfall of this place, America. And it's a wonderful thing to see. The water that you have by Shem Yahushua for that. Right? But, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, it can be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that come across it. To the next time, I'm going to say shalom.